Welcome back. In this video we're going to continue our model class, and we're going to jump right in here and start with our find method. And so let's create a new public function find, and this is going to need params, and we're going to set this a empty array by default. And so let's start off by saying results is going to equal empty array, and then results query is going to be equal to this db find, and then that db method find, remember, takes a table. So what we can do here is say this table, and then our params are being passed in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through these results, and we're going to create a new object and then return a array of objects that are all instantiated from this model. Okay, so I know that sounds a little weird, but we could just return, I mean, it's kind of up to you. I don't know how most really advanced developers would see what I'm doing here, but in my mind, other ORMs, which we're not going to do the relation part of this, but other frameworks pass back for each result an object that have available to them all of the methods on the object. So I kind of want to mimic that, and the way that I thought to do that was we'll do a for each results query as what we'll call this key value pair here. All right. For each one of those, we're going to say if result query, all right. Whoops, I am sorry. Let's get rid of that if statement. So we'll start over. In the for each, we'll say object, we'll instantiate a new this, and this is why we set up that model name. So this a new this model name, and then we're going to pass it in this table. Okay, and so that will instantiate a new object, and then we're going to simply say for each result as just do this result okay, for each result as key value pair. Then what we're going to do is say result key is equal to value. Okay, then what we're going to do is, I'm sorry again, man, I am screwing this up. Object, I knew that didn't look right. So object key is going to equal value. Okay, and then after the for each, after this for each, but inside of the other for each, we're going to add to that results, that empty results array, the object. Okay, and then what we're going to do is after this result, this for each loop, we're going to return results. All right, so let's kind of look at this for a second. I'm going to read through this again since I kind of stumbled through showing this. So we're extracting the find we're wrapping the database find method inside of our model, and we're going to do something a little special with it. First thing we're going to do is create an empty array and assign it to results, and then we're going to run a query. So we set results query equal to this db find, and then we're passing the table, so this table, and the params that get passed into this find method here, and then we're going to grab those results and say that'll give us that array of objects. So then what we say is for each object in this array, we're going to call that result. So each object will be result, and then we come in here and we're instantiating a new object. So we're saying object new this model name, and then we're passing it the table, and then what we're going to do is assign all of our data to the key value, to the object key properties. So for instance, if this were contacts, this would be like object equals new contact, that would be the model, so new contact model, and then the table would be obviously contacts, and then it would say for each result as key value pair, then add, like for instance, object first name equals Curtis, object last name equals, and it's going to loop through and do that, and then in the end what it's going to do is add that object to this results array and then return all of that. So then we'll have an array of objects that were built from the model class. So then we have the rest of the methods that we're going to create in this, we'll have available to us on each one of those objects. So we'll have like our save and update and insert methods all available to us on each object in that array. So I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and do our find first now, which will be very similar. Okay, and that's also going to get params. Okay, and let's see. So this one a little simpler. Result query is going to equal this db find first, and again we're going to pass it this table and then params. Okay, and then we're going to say result is going to equal new this model name and this table. We'll get past that, and then again I'm kind of going to repeat some code here from the last one, so it's probably best. So let's go ahead and create a private or protected. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's say protected function, and we'll call this populate object data or something like that. Okay, and so essentially what I want to do is get rid of this for each loop here, and what we're going to say is we'll put that, let's just refactor that into here, and let's see, this is going to need a result. Okay, and then we'll say pair, then yeah, this key equals value. Okay, so that works. So what we'll do here then is just say object populate object data, and then we're going to pass it a result. Okay. So what's going to happen now is we can in this for each loop we have result, and it's creating a new object from the model, and then it's going to call that populate object data and pass in the result, which will be that object that comes back from the database, and then we'll have all those objects set. So we're skipping on that for each loop because we need to do the same thing right here. And what we could do is then say result populate object data, and then we'll pass it in result query in this case. And then this one we just need to return result. Okay, so I know that I kind of skipped through that a little bit. I actually was looking at my original source code that I prepared for this video and decided that I could refactor that for each loop out so it's not so nested. So we have the find and find first are really similar, especially when it gets down to this assignment of each key value pair to the object. So basically we just extracted that for each loop out and we did it here in this function. So we populate the object data with the result query, and we populate this one here and we just call that result. So I know that's a little just read through that and see if you understand what's going on. If you don't understand what's going on, it's not that big of a deal, because when we go to use the find and find first methods from these models later, you will see that we'll have access to every single method inside of here, because what we're doing is reinstantiating a new object of this model name, and then we're populating that with the results. And then we'll have any other methods we create in here, we'll have access to those. Really quick, let's just go ahead and knock out our find by ID. So public function find by ID, and it needs an ID obviously, and then we're going to return this find first. Okay. And inside of there, we're going to give it conditions of ID is equal blank, and then what we do is bind we're going to bind ID. Okay. So cool. So we made use of our find first method, and now we have a find by ID. So say this were a contacts model, we could use it by saying contacts find by ID and pass in an ID, and it would actually run this function and then return that object. So anyway, we're moving right along. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and create some useful wrappers around the insert, update, delete, and query methods. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video.